McLaren has terminated Daniel Ricciardo's contract, making him a free agent in 2023. He would not be behind the wheel for McLaren next season. What's next for Ricciardo? Would he be retiring from the sport? If not, which team will he be driving for next season? Do you want to find out? Then stay tuned. During the mid-season break, McLaren and Ricciardo announced they would be parting ways at the end of the season. The Australian driver signed a contract with McLaren in 2021 for a period of 3 years and competed alongside Lando Norris. Despite this, the team and Ricciardo have mutually agreed to terminate his contract a year earlier than scheduled. Even though Ricciardo had already won 8 races and had a reasonably good 1-2 lead at Monza last year, he got off to a poor start in 2022 before the real races even began. Ricciardo could not get an early leg up on the new cars during the tests in Bahrain on the 10th through 12th of March because he experienced a COVID setback. The new cars did not appear to fit his driving style. While finishing 4th in the championship last year offered hope for success this year, McLaren has instead traded shots with Alpine throughout the first half of the season. This is especially frustrating given Norris's obvious ability to break through the middle of the field. Ricciardo has only brought home 19 points so far this season, in contrast to Norris's total of 82 points, which includes a podium finish at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. McLaren is now trailing Alpine by 24 points in the Construction Championship race for 4th place. Each spot in the standings is worth several millions of dollars in bonus prize money, which is why McLaren is determined to finish ahead of Alpine this season and even do better next season. Ricciardo will finish the 2022 season with McLaren, but he is now free to explore other alternatives. One of those choices may be a return to the Alpine team, which might not have a second driver if Piastri is signed with McLaren. Will Ricciardo retire from F1? Ricciardo's future in Formula One racing has been the subject of much debate since it was announced that he would not drive for McLaren in the upcoming season. It is unknown whether or not he will continue his career in the sport. Ricciardo expressed his will to continue his career in Formula One in a message that he shared across all of his social media accounts. He said, "The sport, I still love it. I still love it. This hasn't affected any of that. I still have that fire in me, that belief in my belly, that I can do this at the highest level." So yes, all that stuff is still there. But yes, I just wanted to say that I appreciate everyone's support from the highs to the lows, everything in between. This isn't it for me. We'll see what lies ahead. I just wanted to say I appreciate you. So, which F1 team would Ricciardo be driving for in the upcoming season if he chose to continue his career in the sport? Let's take a look at some possible options for Ricciardo. Alpine. Alpine needs a replacement for Fernando Alonso, who was recently confirmed as Sebastian Vettel's shock replacement at Aston Martin. This news came after the Hungarian Grand Prix at the end of July. Oscar Piastri, the reigning F2 champion, is set to join McLaren, placing Alpine in a difficult situation. The French team wanted Piastri to fill the vacuum left by Alonso, but he will instead join McLaren. In 2019 and 2020, Ricciardo had 2 successful seasons with Alpine, during which time the team was still known as Renault, during which he finished on the podium twice. The Australian driver finished the 2020 Formula One season with one of the sport's finest performances that season, trailing only Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, which earned him a lucrative contract with McLaren. Given Ricciardo's form before his recent slump, it comes as a surprise that he has fallen from favor. Ricciardo is currently the best available driver on the market, and Alpine will want to ensure they have a competent replacement for Alonso. Since Piastri won't be driving for them next season, Ricciardo is the best available driver. His difficulties with McLaren have been made worse by Norris's world-class performance, but he is still capable of winning races, and he did win some of them last year. The choices that are available to Alpine are limited, even though Mick Schumacher is rumored to be in discussions with them. However, Schumacher has not yet demonstrated the necessary performance or consistency to merit a move up the grid alongside Kevin Magnussen at Haas. This move would put Schumacher in the same car as Magnussen. A comeback for Ricciardo would make complete sense, and he would be reuniting with Esteban Ocon, whom he dominated in the 2020 season. Haas. Ricciardo has recently communicated with Haas about the possibility of driving for the team in the upcoming season. According to ESPN, Daniel Ricciardo sent a message to Gunther Steiner, the head of Haas Auto Racing, during the Hungarian Grand Prix in late July. The driver lineup for Haas's F1 2023 campaign is not yet finalized, but Magnussen is expected to remain with the team after signing a multi-year contract. His teammate's name has not yet been revealed, and with Schumacher's lack of consistency throughout 2022, he would likely be replaced. In the latter part of this year, Haas will provide Antonio Giovinazzi with 2 FP1 outings to evaluate the Italian. Nico Hülkenberg is also apparently in the running for the position. Given that Ricciardo is one of the most popular drivers in Formula 1 and has a clear race-winning history, Haas acquiring him would be a major coup for the team. Ricciardo's troubles before joining McLaren may be eliminated in an atmosphere with less pressure, which would provide Haas with a powerful combo of Magnussen and Ricciardo. Magnussen and Ricciardo would drive for Haas. Ricciardo would have no realistic chance of winning in Formula 1 again if he switched to Haas, but as Valtteri Bottas demonstrated at Alfa Romeo, it is quite easy to change people's perceptions of you if you perform well enough. Williams. A move to Williams would be a significant step backward for Ricciardo, given that the team now fields a car more slowly than that of Haas. However, Williams has a significant amount of history to their advantage, in addition to what appears to be a sizable budget. Dorilton Capital purchased Williams in 2020, and the new American owners may view Daniel Ricciardo's availability as an opportunity to make their first significant splash. Alex Albon was the only signing Williams had made in the previous few years. After all, Ricciardo is one of the most well-known stars in Formula 1, notably in the United States, because of the popularity of his role in the Netflix series Drive to Survive. Given that Nicholas Latifi is going to be leaving Williams, it appears that there will be a seat there as well. But is it truly something that Ricciardo wants to do, to fall to the back of the grid? Time will tell. Possibility of retirement? Ricciardo might consider retiring if he doesn't want to spend the rest of his Formula 1 career in the middle of the pack. This would make retirement a more plausible option for Ricciardo. During his time with Red Bull and Renault, Ricciardo cemented his position as one of the very best drivers in the F1 sport by winning 8 races, finishing in the top 3 more than 30 times, and standing on the podium. It is becoming increasingly doubtful that he will win the Formula 1 World Championship. Therefore, it may be time for him to try something different. Perhaps he could make the jump to the IndyCar series. It would be unfortunate to lose a driver of Ricciardo's caliber and attitude, especially considering that there are still a number of midfield drives that may be taken advantage of. Now it's your turn. Which racing team do you think Ricciardo will be driving for in the upcoming season? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. That'll be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos just like this. See you in the next video. Bye!